Alright, what's going on everyone? Welcome to my first Duskmourn standard video. During Duskmourn previews, there's one card that I saw that absolutely blew my mind, and it's this card right here. If you know what types of decks I like to play, this gets me excited. So I love tempo decks. I like Simic Flash, I like Spirits and Pioneer, I like Dimir Flash even though it kind of sucks, and my god does this card get me excited. It's a 4 mana 4/3 with Flash, but it says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Now that's per creature, so if you hit with 3 creatures, you draw 3 cards, and then it has the Glimmer mechanic, which is when it dies, it reanimates as an enchantment. So what this means is you can flash it in during combat after blockers are declared to draw a bunch of cards. You can flash it in at the end of your opponent's turn when they're not expecting it to get extra damage and more cards. You can also flash it in as a removal spell, block with it, trade 1 for 1, then have it come back as an enchantment, and then draw a bunch of cards. If this isn't like the engine to make Flash good and standard, I don't know what is. So the rest of the deck, we can just type in Flash. We're playing Flash creatures. We have Fairy Mastermind, 2 mana, 2 power, flying Flash. If you're not familiar, by the way, if you don't know why Flash is so good, one problem, not a problem, just an aspect of Magic is every turn you have to decide, do you want to play to the board or do you want to interact with your opponent's board, right? And what Flash creatures allow you to do is you can just not play to the board. If your opponent plays a threat, you can kill it or you can counter it. If they don't do anything relevant, then you can play your creature. So you get to have your cake and eat it too. That's why Flash creatures are so good. So this is 2 mana, 2 power, Flash flying. If the opponent draws, we draw, and we can force the issue. We have a 2 mana, 2 power, Flash flying again. When it deals combat damage to a player, we get to draw and discard. It gets a chorus counter, and if it has 4 chorus counters, then we get to cast the discarded card without paying its cost. We have this, which is basically Spell Queller in standard, sort of. 3 mana, 2/2 Flash flying. When it enters, it exiles a spell and it becomes plotted. So they have to pay 2 to cast it again, and they can't recast it right away because it's plotted. So they have to play it on another turn. Tasha's Tide Binder might be the weakest card. I'm not sure. I kind of just want to play 4 of these, but we'll see how this goes. When it enters, you can counter a activated or triggered ability, and then that ability gets turned off permanently while this is on the battlefield. This allows us to look at the top card, and if it's a creature with Flash or flying, we can cast it off the top. The rest of our deck, we have a bounce spell, we have a counter spell that can make tokens, we have a counter spell that can also make tokens as well as draw and discard. We have removal, we have draw, we have counter, we have counter. That's it. We're countering, we're killing, and we're flashing stuff in end of turn, and we're hopefully drawing a ton of cards. Now, I don't know if 4 of these is correct. I'm playing 4 today because I want to draw it for the video. I think I would probably play 3. I'd also kind of like more of these, I think, but we'll see how this goes. I want to draw this card and see how good it is, so let's play some games and see how it goes. Alright, game 1. Only 2 lands, but we have a Malcolm going second, of course. If it's red aggro, we lose. It is black. The Evolved Sleeper, it is black aggro, typically, with this card. We can let them invest all their mana into it, then just kill it, it's fine. They don't do that though, alright. Well, we have a counter spell up now. 2 removal spells, this is fine. Yep. 2 mana for the next one. We'll take 2. Yep. Alright, end of turn. Actually, I'm going to play this end of turn. There's our card. Need more lands though. Attack for 2. Great. Draw. That's perfect. Get rid of 1. Maybe the counter spell. They got a lot of lands. Although they're probably going to play Sheoldred soon. Yep. That's fine. Attack for 3. I'll take it. Yep. There's the Sheoldred as expected. We will counter. Auto pay. Great. So, attack for 2. Draw. Don't need another one. So now we're going to flash in the Curiosity block with it. And if they kill it, we'll still use it to draw. Wish my mana wasn't so painful against the aggro deck, but what can you do? So they might kill it in response. That's kind of okay. Alright, we trade. This comes back as an enchantment. We're just going to draw cards now. Shieldred's fine, we can kill it. We'll do it now. Because I'm low on life, so I want to do that. Sure, we need to get a blue source that doesn't hurt me, so I can cast this less painfully. Then attack for 2, which is going to draw 2, discard 1. Draw. Can discard 1 land, I think. That's fine. So we have a counter spell, 2 of them up. If they don't play anything, we can play this, which is going to draw 2. Don't like that. We're just gonna counter that. Don't want any of that. So that's 4 counters, right? That's fine. So it deals damage, gets a chorus counter. Yeah, so whatever we discard, we can cast for free. So we'd like to see our creature. Draw. So I can discard this, then cast it for free. Play the land. Pass. So we still have a counter spell up with a bounce spell. I will take the 1. Will I take the 1? I can block it, then bounce it after they spend all their mana on it. Yep, it's still dead. Yep. And now we bounce it. No, they're going to go all in. Alright, cool. So now we will bounce. Great. Resolve. I could have played this in response and drawn a card. Whoops. I think we're going to draw plenty, but I should have drawn there. This we will counter. Because if I counter it, I draw more cards. Potentially more counter spells, right? Play this. Auto pay. So now we deal 6, draw, what is it? Draw 4 or whatever. Draw 4, discard 1, and the card we discard we get to play for free. So let's discard this and play it for free. Awesome. And play a land. Pass the turn. I mean, it's doing something. This card is... We're drawing a lot of cards. That's for sure. So it's... If the creature is put to the graveyard this way, return it to the battlefield under your control. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. That's fine. Can this bounce my own stuff? No. Opponents. Although I can bounce the errata now and it'll go to my hand, which is kind of funny. Right? Yeah. Sure. So now we can just do a bit of this. Okay, sorry opponent. Yep. And then what? Flash this in for fun. Flash this in. And then just draw a bunch. We don't get to draw because the opponent dies, but I mean that's what it. I mean that's it. We drew a lot of cards, right? That's what we're trying to do. All right, game 2. All blue lands, mostly blue cards, so it's probably fine. Opponent goes first. This new board's pretty cool, and I love that you can turn the TV off so the thing's darker. Okay, we lose. Yeah. Let's see if we lose on turn 2. I am curious. I complained about this a lot in another video, and that video got so many dislikes. I actually privated it because it was just like getting pummeled with dislikes. But man, do I just hate this deck? All right, do we die? Just do we die? Cool. Awesome. Fun. Well, that was a fun time. Did you guys have fun? What a good format. Like you don't even get to play, man. What a stupid fucking format. Love red aggro. Super fun. Love dying on turn 2. This kind of sucks because we don't have lands, but it's gonna have to do. Probably get a blue source here, just in case I'm against aggro. Really like these sleeves. I wanted them until I saw the price of the frog thing. These would be like my main sleeves if, you know, they weren't like insanely expensive. I play Fabled Passage past. Did this map change? Why does it look different? It's not different. Is it? No. What? I'm confused. Oh, look, it's that deck again. It's literally the same deck. Hooray. Why does this map look weird to me? I don't understand. Maybe I'm confusing it with the Brothers War map, which is more purple. I think that's what I'm doing. Sure. That's fine. You can do that. Okay, Flash. Do you have a shock? I'm just happy to trade 1 for 1. They only have 3 cards. Sure, but it's dead still. I guess they deal 4 to me. 2 cards left. I think we're fine. I guess they manifest. Yep. Okay. Play this because it doesn't hurt me, which is nice. We're going to counter that. So we'll take 3 here. Maybe more. 1 card. Okay, down to 13. That's fine. So now we have counter spell and removal. Get lost and no more lies. Yep. So we will counter that. Then we'll let them go to combat. And we will kill this one because it's scary. Yep, deal 1 plus the 2 brings me down to 9, but they're out of cards. Sure. Okay, so they can make this a 4/4, which I can't kill with these. So I need to draw a bounce spell, removal. Sure. Please hit a land now. Dang. Alright, we'll just pass. I can counter this now with this. Sure. So I play this. Counter. I can't counter. I can counter that. Trade here. Take 1. Draw a land. Pass the turn. So I can play both of these. Double block. It's a land. Alright, play this. And this. And we don't need to double block now. Great. So they just ran out of resources, which is good. So I have a land on top, but... well, I can draw, discard. I have another land on top, but I can shuffle, get up planes. It's another land on top. Well, we just don't get to do anything there. There we go. Oh, yeah, we flashed this in first. Flash this in first main phase to draw 2 more. These hit. I mean, when we draw this card, it feels very good. Probably discard this one. No, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. I can't cast this, because I don't have double blue, but I can cast this, which doesn't do anything, most likely. Alright, opponent does nothing. I'm okay with that. We have another land on top, but we'll do this. We will draw 4, technically. Discard the tapped land. Can cast this off top. Play a land. Pass the turn. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I have this. I have a counter spell, 2 counter spells. They have 3 cards. I have this as well, which is a sort of counter spell. Sure, so we can just... they're desperate, so we'll just, we'll counter that. They can cast it next turn. There we go, nice. I mean, the card's cool. I do wonder if we should be focusing more on spot removal over counter spells. So like 1 more get lost. Maybe even another bounce spell. I don't know. We'll keep playing. The deck doesn't feel bad. It seems like every game we start with no lands and then we draw a million. But I guess that's just because we're drawing so many cards with this thing, right? I will keep 7. So we can bounce turn 1. We can counter. Hope we draw some lands. Never mind. We'll play this. No bounce available this turn. Okay, good. They didn't do anything. Seachrome Coast. So we have counter spell up. If they do nothing, we have creature. They do not, and this is exactly why flash creatures are so good. And they probably have cut down, but that's okay. Yep. That's fine. Ooh, man, I thought maybe we should be playing 4 of these. I just feel like it's pretty good. Okay, they have shielded mana next turn. I don't think it's worth just casting for nothing, is it? Nah. I'll just pass. Be patient. What the heck is this? When it enters draw, then discard. Huh, okay. Well, I guess I'm okay with that. I'll play Curiosity end of turn. Atraxa. Well, that's not what I expected. Okay, we'll play this. If it gets killed, it's still the enchantment, so that's fine. Unless it gets exiled, but it does not. So we still get the enchantment, that's okay. Land. So now we want them to play something good so we can counter it and start drawing. I will take 2 here, yep. If they don't do anything, I'll play this. Yeah, they don't, okay. I'm just going to play this for no value, end of turn. Okay, well we have counter spells for days. Attack, draw. Great. Man, yeah, when I get this card, it feels so good. Kind of reminds me of the Simulacrum Synthesizer in the Artifact deck, where when you get it, it's like, holy crap, it's crazy. And when you don't, Okay, so that we need to counter, and we need a hard counter. So let's do this. Auto pay. Great. I will take the 2. My turn. Another land would be good, but we don't get it. So let's attack for 2. Could still get it here. Draw. Great. So now I have 3 mana for a hard counter, and I could play this end of turn. They need 6. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can cast the flashback. I could flash in block. I don't think the 2 damage is that relevant, and I'd rather have counter spells up for whatever they do second main phase. They do nothing. Okay, I don't think the 2 damage matters. Nothing on top. And still nothing on top. But that's okay, because we can attack for 4. Draw 2. And, oh, we can get another one. That's fun. Alright, pass the turn. I mean, look how much gas we have because of this thing. No witnesses, needs to be countered. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's got to be a hard counter. Not going to do any crazy stuff with copying anything. I'd rather have more mana open for these other counter spells. Alright, we'll just flash this in. They can block it, that's okay. Attack for this much. They take all of it. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, well. We have to discard the hand size. The Flood Maw seems medium. So we still have 3 counter spells and a removal spell. We have 5, 7 mana. How many lands do they have untapped? Not enough. We will counter. I just have like unlimited counter spells because I draw so much, which feels pretty good. Nice. Well, it's working, kinda. It seems like we're playing against more jank decks, but the matchmaker doesn't match you based on your deck strength and ranked. Allegedly. At least that's what they say. But I don't know, we're not getting matched up against tier 1 basically at all, except for that. I guess we got matched up against red twice, but that's just everywhere. You can't do anything about that. Alright, play this tapped. Black land. Okay, if this is the discard deck, I don't think this does anything. So we'll get rid of that. And draw a second one. That's fine. Alright, pass the turn. Land. Alright, I think this gets hit by a cut down. Yep, go for the throat. Close. That's a counter spell. So we want to counter the Saga talent, whatever it is, if we see it. Liliana. I can discard Flood Maw and then cast this end of turn and kill it. So I think that's fine. I don't think I need to use my counter spell. Because I don't think this does anything in this matchup. So discard this. And then end of turn, play this. Oh wait, she has 4. Well, that's awkward, isn't it? Why did I think she was going to have 3? It's fine. They can plus make me discard probably this removal spell because, again, this sort of stuff is just not very good against this deck. They don't play a lot of stuff to the board. Yeah. I can counter that because countering it also means they don't get the enchantment later. So now they can plus, I'll discard the removal spell. If they have another go for the throat, I'm going to be sad. This is fine. Discard this. Alright. I'm drawing the worst cards imaginable for this matchup. It's a creature counterspell and they play basically no creatures. They might have Deep Cavern Bat, but not always. So I drew 2 Into the Flood Mauls against a deck with no creatures. And a creature, the 1 copy of the creature counterspell, which we're going to discard now. Alright, end of turn, we'll play another one. That's a counterspell, it's pretty good. Attack for 6. Alright. 2 cards. I've got 1 counter. That's not good. Counter. Alright, 1 card. That's a counter spell. Only counters unless they pay 2 though, which they can do. This if we draw an untapped land, we have lethal next turn. I don't think this matters, right? But I might as well. I don't know. So an untapped land wins here. That is not an untapped land, but it is a counter spell. An untapped land means I activate this, attack for 8. Nice, we win either way. Okay, well, that works. Alright, so what do I think about this? It definitely feels great when we're ahead. This thing feels amazing. Like if we're ahead and we get this down and we have a couple creatures, like we win. This is unstoppable. I don't know how good this deck is from behind. Our creatures are very small. The counter spells are very hit or miss. They're great again if we're ahead. I feel like I would want more spot removal, I think. Because how many counter spells do we have? We have 5, 9, kind of 11. I think I want to maybe cut a couple counter spells for a couple more of these. And then I think I want to add some more spot removal. Another Get Lost. Maybe even just the bounce spells are fine, to be honest. I think this card's pretty cool, though. I think it definitely is going to be a staple in flash decks. I mean, the card draw is just insane, and the fact that you can flash it in, block a creature, trade 1 for 1, and then it's still an enchantment that draws you a bunch of cards is kind of amazing. So I think this card is like a 10 out of 10, and this deck is like, this build might be like a 5 or a 6 out of 10, but maybe we could get it up to a 7 with some tuning. But I do think this card is super cool, and what we're going to do in the future is when new sets are previewed, we're going to look at all the flash creatures and we're going to see what happens with this deck going forward, because this is going to be in standard for a long time, and I think it's definitely going to be a staple in a flash deck if it ever becomes competitive. But either way, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.